What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Feast, episode 80, the show where you submit replays and we cast them. I am Delthius. Sorry, I'm a little bit scrambled here. I started taking drum lessons from the drummer of Iced Earth, and really cool, man. Professional drummer, toured all over the world, really successful band, so I'm hyped for that. I've been taking a lot of music lessons lately, been doing a lot of music stuff, but that literally just ended, so I had to scramble to get this going. But we should be all set. I gotta do something real quick. Did that fix that? Yes, it did. Beautiful. Okay. Alright. So I'm here. What's up, the gentleman? It's super late over there. I appreciate you hanging out, my man. I'm doing patch 1.3 replays tonight. I wanted to honor some of the guys that had submitted, especially lately. I had a couple submissions, so I wanted to get those in before the new patch kind of makes those irrelevant. Lots of cool stuff with Tooth and Tail, man. There's a sale recently, so there's a lot of new players that have come to the game, which is really awesome to see a lot of people on Tooth and Tail, of course. The new patch, obviously, a ton of changes. I haven't got the ladder yet. I actually wanted the ladder tonight, but that drum lesson ran too long. Yeah, so here we are, man. I got 10 replays for you guys. Old patch, boo, I know. Hey, submit some new patch stuff, man. I do want to call out, guys, submit new patch replays, please, at ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com. And I'll try not to slouch too much on getting a new patch show out in the near future. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like, you know, submit the replays, man. The more replay submissions I get, you know, I check the inbox from time to time. Like, if it's all blown up, then I'll do the show more often. You know what I mean? So definitely keep the replays coming, guys. I'm really excited for the custom maps. To be honest, if I get some spare time, I want to try to make some like Brood War maps, Tooth and Tail style, like Fighting Spirit and stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Could possibly transfer over fairly well. And Jed Erickson is actually, let me get the details on that while I've got you guys here. So Jed Erickson is putting together a custom map tournament, and that is going to be on the 22nd at 8 p.m. CET. I think that's 2 p.m. EST, so that's on a Saturday, I believe. And we're going to judge the maps a couple days early, kind of pick some of the best, and do a little bit of a tournament on custom maps, which is really cool. Like, one of the interesting things of Tooth and Tail is the RNG of the maps, but I don't think that's it, right? Like, I think we could have some really standard, competitive, you know, balanced maps, and the game would still be awesome. But of course, the random maps adds a lot of variety to the gameplay, indeed. Ban his tournament. Dude, I'll talk Jed into a 2v2 thing. Don't you worry, Peeboo. Alright, hopefully the levels are okay, guys. Like I said, I'm a little bit scrambled here. I just wanted to get out a little bit of content. It has been a little while. The last thing I did was the Gentleman's 21 Duels Challenge, so check that out. And yeah, without any further ado, let us hop into it. Game number 1 here. Alright, spawning in the bottom, we've got Saint Abroad. And his opponent up top, Bonko. Okay, gotta start things off right with some bonkage. Alright, rocking the lizards, but Saint Abroad does not have toads, and on this patch, the toads were a pretty hard counter to the lizards. I think they probably still are on the new patch. To be honest, like, there's so many changes on the new patch, but one of the things I'm probably most excited for is the squirrel 0-second casting time. I'm kind of curious if that's going to make, like, stutter step micro and stuff like that a lot more viable. I'm really excited for that. Some of the changes are pretty crazy, like the cabin change for the campfires seems really cool. The healing in water seems really interesting as well. So I'm really excited for the new patch, and I keep talking about the new patch, and of course we're doing old patch replays tonight. But again, man, send in those new patch replays, and we will get a show on the new patch ASAP. So nothing crazy yet. Bonk grabbing that Warren before the 8 farms. Typically, you'll either go like a 5 or 6 Warren or an 8 farm opening, but no harm, no foul, really. It's not going to make too big of a difference. We'll see how it plays out from here. Lots of gristmills on Saint's side of the map. And lizards typically will do better than squirrels in like an engagement or an open field or something like that, but the squirrels have a better defender's advantage. So just straight squirrels versus lizards. It's pretty interesting. This is pretty cool down here. Throwing the barbed wire to eliminate that back entrance. I would argue, if I was being super tryhard, you could probably do a similar effect with even just like one piece of barbed wire here, but it doesn't matter, man. These guys are just having fun. Playing some tooth and tail, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's see where they want to go with this. Skunk on the way for Bonk. So Bonk is kind of putting together a pretty powerful, you know, early to mid-game kind of push where you get a lot of tier 1, some pigeons and the skunks and move out. And pretty similar thing from Saint Abroad here. He doesn't have any pigeons yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he threw down a pigeon warren here shortly. And you know what? Like, lizards, I've always kind of thought, especially on this patch, like, lizards should do better in this engagement because the lizards can get up on those tier 2s very efficiently and snipe them real quickly. And not only that, but the lizards won't take as much damage from the skunk gas because they're so much faster. A quick gristmill here from Saint Abroad. Bonk needs to see that, so he knows that his opponent is ecoing up, and you can either try to build a bunch of warrens and put on the aggression, or try to match that with his own gristmill. He didn't quite see it, but he kind of throws down a gristmill at a regular timing anyways, so I was worried for a second there that Saint Abroad might pull ahead on a couple farms and really get an advantage into the mid-game, but it looks like we're kind of chilling at this point. Both players just macroing up for the time being. Nothing super crazy just yet. Dude, all this barbed wire here, I love it, man. Yeah, now that Saints kind of controlled this entire area, there's really no way that lizards can sneak in. I think he'd actually be fine to sell off this barbed wire in the back. But we kind of have a gentleman's agreement, like neither player is really pushing out. And Bonk with the tier 3, does Saint get the scout? He does, he sees that it's coming. Is that going to trigger him to put down his own tier 3, or maybe he'll decide to move out? Let's see what he wants to do. I mean, you got to respond to that one way or another, and it looks like he's going to throw down his own owl here. And Badger kind of wins the rock, paper, scissors as far as the tier 3 goes with, you know, Badger, Owl, Fox, but that's kind of a soft rule of thumb, not necessarily, you know, the gospel or anything, so Saint could be perfectly okay with those owls. I fast forward a little bit here as both players are playing very, very passively. Overall, I like Bonk's position better. He'll have his tier 3 sooner. He's got a stronger economy going. But Saint Abroad is pretty aggressively taking over the map, and this can come back and bite Bonk in the ass later. Because, I mean, look at this. Like, he's secured basically all these gristmills here, and Bonk is going to have a hard time even taking a third base on this map. He's got these couple campfires up top that he can rely on. But I'd love to see Bonk really try to push out and apply the pressure once that Badger's up. You know, 2-base play is probably all Bonk can really hope to go for in this style, so. Looking at my cat on my keyboard waiting for it to turn it on. I think I was streaming something, or like my wife was streaming, and my cat turned on the keyboard and turned on like the drums, the automated drums on it, and we were just like freaking out for a second, like, where is that coming from? Just boots and tats, boots and tats. It was pretty hilarious, but no, she is good for the moment. She's leaving my keyboard alone. All right, man, Bonk's got the Badger. Let's see it, Bonk. Let's get some bonkage going. No, not quite yet. Wait for a couple more tier 2, but this is the time to move out. Yeah, and here he goes. This is a nice entrenched position here from Saint Abroad. A lot of barbed wire. He's got double high ground. He's got ferrets that are great at poking down an army. He's got skunks, and now he's got this owl here where if Bonk doesn't hard engage into it, the mice are just going to get value over time. But again, Bonk's got a lot stronger of an economy here. Like, Saint's got some bases, but he never really macroed up heavily. Bonk is kind of hard pressed on room for more warrens. I think down here he was like trying to find a spot to place something down. I think he's gonna have to get more aggressive, Yeah, and place him a little bit more forward. He's trying to find a spot. There he goes. Gonna get more Falcons. I like it. I don't know, man. I'm worried for Bonk, though. He needs to move out, in my opinion. Like, this barbed wire is scary, but I think he can break it. Hey, what's up, Kerpa? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the feast, guys. If you are new to the scene, I used to do this very, very often, but life is a little too hectic for me at the moment, so I just kind of do it when I can now. Alright, Bonk is moving in. Let's see if he's got enough. Like, this barbed wire just decimates all of his lizards on the front, but the real story of Bonk's army here is that Badger on the back. The Badger's staying alive for now. I don't think Bonk really lost any of his tier 2. The pigeons were doing a good job healing there. Maybe a Falcon went down, but I think the Falcons were still building. This is what he's got to be careful about, though. He can't dilly-dally out here in the field. That is where Saint Abroad is really going to get an advantage from just these mice coming out, from the ferrets blasting them down from a distance. This owl, man, just spawning all these mice constantly. And if you're Saint Abroad, you really want to utilize these mice as Owl continuously pukes them out. Blech. But yeah, like a good tip if you do have owls is to like run the owl up and just let the mice go, you know, kamikaze onto the opponent's army and base, because why not? They're free units, you know. So might as well get as much value as possible. The only exception to that is sometimes if you have like a lot of mice, especially in higher level play, you want to be careful because if you run in and, you know, all your mice die, then now all of a sudden you don't have the front line, your army's a little bit weaker, and your opponent can capitalize while those mice respawn. But it's not really that situation here. I think Saint should be harassing with these mice a little bit, but not a big deal. Badger number 2 is out, though, for Bonk, and let's see if Bonk can break this. Like, the clock's ticking. Tooth and Tail has a very, very small clock on it. Like, you can see the main bases are already mined out. The second base is not going to last a whole lot longer. And that's really it for Bonk. Like, he doesn't have any other economic opportunities here. Meanwhile, Saint doesn't have to do anything. And time again, we'll see this in Tooth and Tail, where one player is like the protagonist and one player is the antagonist, right? Like, one guy, he's got to make the move. He's got to make the play, where Saint Abroad really doesn't have to. You know, that's why I'm not criticizing Saint, saying like, oh, he needs to be aggressive here. He doesn't. Like, Saint doesn't have to do anything, man. All Saint's got to do is hang back, build more and more owls, and just keep it real. Like, keep grabbing these gristmills, macroing up. Meanwhile, Bonk is going to be starving in the next few minutes, so he's got to make a play before Saint just gets out of control. Alright, a little bit of fast forward here. Let's get to that action, man. That's what you guys are here for. Alright, Bonk is moving in again. He needs to just break this position. He needs to micro his Badgers. That's really the only unit that matters in his army. Like, as far as microing goes. Like, it's nice to keep these Falcons alive. And look at this. Bonk just blasts through his opponent. And he needs to keep the momentum going. I like to pull back just for a minute. Like, let a couple of the units, you know, respawn. Maybe come back, sell off a War Hunter or two. That's very, very good to do after an engagement, because you've been building up this army the entire game. You're not really going to be able to, you know, repopulate it very, very quickly. So you sell off a War Hunter or two, and Tooth and Tail, you get a full refund, and that way you can continually produce what you can afford. And Bonk's just got the power level here, man. 8 Falcons, 2 Badgers is just a ton. Yeah. And I think that's fine from Bonk. Like, I like that he didn't overcommit. In this situation, it would have been fine if he did. But it's better to pull back a little bit. You know, it's really easy to overextend in TNT. Okay. Okay. Good to see everybody. If you are new, welcome. Send me your replays to ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com. I'll get you on the show when I can. I still like to put out an episode every now and then, man. Not as often as I used to, but maybe a couple times a month. So definitely keep them coming. And let us continue to match number 2. And I know it is a bummer because everybody's hyped about the new patch, and I'm like, oh, patch replays a night, but I did want to try to get to these, because if I wait too much longer, then it's just going to be totally irrelevant, but people still remember this meta. So in the bottom, we've got the Child and his opponent up top, Be Shafto. Be Shafto. Be Shafto. It's an interesting name. I don't think I've seen that player before. Alright, the child's got a pretty wonky deck here. I like it. Squirrel Mole. So he's got the moles, so we need to keep an eye on the child's commander here. See if he wants to do any mole shenanigans in the early game. Doesn't look like it. He's queued up a lot of farms here. But moles are always really cool if you can fit them in your deck. Especially, like, imagine if Shafto, like, took this base later on and you don't quite want to move your entire army out of position and risk a big counterattack. Instead, you could just kind of build a few moles over here and really apply pressure to it. And if the opponent tries to, you know, move out and defend it, then now you've got an opening to swing right into their face, right? So, pretty standard early game so far. Both players opting for a macro style 7-farm Warren from Shafto. I keep on to say Shafto, but that's definitely Toe, T-O-E, and pretty similar from the child. So 7-8-farm Warren openings from both players. It's pretty common to see them throw down a couple tier 1 Warrens and then go into the tier 2 of their choice. Let's see how they want to play it out. Both players have access to a great expansion here. It's kind of a cool map, to be honest. Like, both players get 4 gristmills total. The child gets a campfire. I like the starting area better for the child because he's got a third base right next to his main as well, where Shafto is a little bit spread out. But Shafto does have this high ground here, and it should be easier for Shafto to maintain this little plateau, and I think that could be very paramount in this game. Like, whoever gets this high ground, you know, it's going to be really hard for the child to attack in from here if Shafto can defend this. But on the other side of the coin, if the child does manage to get this area, then it would be very easy for him to lay wage onto the main base of Shafto with some ferrets or something like that. So Skunk on the way for Shafto. And get an Expo. I actually really like this opening from Shafto. If you're maybe a newer player, just got the game on the sale or whatever, kind of looking for something safe to do on the ladder, I think this is pretty nice from Shafto. You know, 2 to 3 tier 1 Warrens, some Skunks. He's getting a Gristmill. I don't want to see him go crazy on this Gristmill unless that's just kind of the strategy he's going for. But, you know, throw down a couple farms and you start putting like a vicarious type of pressure on your opponent, right? Like, once you start building a few farms on the second base, your opponent's really quickly got to decide, like, okay, am I going to one base all in, or am I going to try to out-greed him, you know? Because you never want to be the player that's got the weaker economy in the game for the most part, unless you're planning some big attack to try to take advantage of, you know, the window where you've got a higher army value than your opponent. Yeah, so this kind of move from Shafto I think is really slick. Just throwing down a few farms, not over committing to that, but here we go, man. The child's moving out with a ton of squirrels, and Shafto does have the skunks. The skunks deal with the squirrels very nicely, and I think Child realized that and decided not to take the engagement, come on back, get some macro going. What I really love to see from the Child, though, is kind of like poking forward with his ferrets and just trying to, you know, deal some damage, be annoying. Great scouting here from the Child. He sees exactly what his opponent's up to. He knows his opponent's got that second base going. He's got it about half saturation. He doesn't see a tier 3 or anything like that. No tier 3 in this game. That's one of the scouting points that can be real difficult, man, is like if your opponent throws down a tier 3 Warren and you don't quite see it in time. But overall, I kind of like Shafto's position in this match a little bit better. Pretty cool that the Child decided to sell off some squirrels too and get this. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like the Child read the economic position for his opponent here. You know, he's got like 4 or 5 farms, so how does he respond to that? He says, okay, well, I'm gonna see your greed and raise you some greed by trying to get farms a little bit quicker and getting that economic edge back in my favor. Oh, really cool proxy gristmill here. This is definitely for territory expansions, maybe to throw down a turret or even an artillery cannon if you can get away with it, but the Child doesn't have any flying units here, so this is that plateau kicking in that I was talking about earlier, and Shafto very smartly decided to defend this. Like, you cannot give this ground to the Child. Now the Child's forced to come up here with his commander to try to get vision, but if that commander goes down, man, that's basically game over for the Child. Like, all of his units won't be microed, and this is a rough spot for the Child indeed. And he even built some moles here, which means that he's ready for business, man. Building moles is kind of like building banelings in StarCraft 2. Like, you really only want to do it right when you're about to engage and move out. He tries to get some turrets down, but Shafto is really on top of it. kind of sniffs out what the child's up to and tries to deny it. I like that he doesn't overcommit here. He pulls back. Both players with ferrets in their army. The snake can get a lot of value if it's not answered. Yeah, Shafto's trying to get that target fire down on the snake. It does go down. The pigeons are nice here for Shafto. Ferret falls for him. It looks like both snakes fell for the child. But man, if the child can get up this artillery cannon, then he's going to be in great shape. He's really trying to keep this front line reinforced. He's even trying to build these molds. But Shafto, I think, has broken through at this point. Yeah, this artillery cannon should not get up. Yeah, especially now that Hopper sees it. Gonna go over there, try to target it. Nice sell off the child, getting the full refund. Definitely a very significant victory there for Shafto. He's floating a little bit of food, but I can kind of forgive him for that since he's been really busy microing, and he decides not to go. I would love to see him just throw down some Warrens, like, right here on the front line. Like, I do agree that he should push the tempo that he has. Like, it's kind of hard to go back and, you know, let the child rebuild and lose that momentum. But he's floating quite a bit of food. It's kind of coming in handy at this point, though, that his army is starting to fall, as he's got a nice bank to just reinforce with the Warrens that he's got. But the child was able to get these turrets up, which is nice. But the pigeons here for Shafto, granting that high ground vision. Does he have great? Yeah, he kind of, if he scoots forward enough with the pigeons. But I don't know, man. He might be overextending. It looks like he's starting to take a lot of losses. These ferrets are doing wonders here on the back lines. Let's see, Shafto's keeping the pressure on. Yeah, that bank kind of worked out for him. Like, he did throw down a couple Warrens on the front, but, you know, having all that money stocked up, you know, allowing him to stay at the front, just constantly reproducing. He's got a lot of damage here. I think he might have broke the child. He's moving forward. Now he's starting to get some real damage down. The Warrens are falling. The farms are going to fall. The child realizes that his back's been broken, taps out, and Shafto takes the match. Okay. I'm looking forward to this one, man. Dude, we were on patch 1.3 for so long, you guys. Like, dude, I have way too many replays on the backlog. It always feels bad for me when a new patch hits, because, like, I just have to throw away so many replays. Like, I've probably got, like, 30 or 40 1.3 replays still. It's insane. But the reason I bring that up is, like, some of these replays are from, like, August or September. It's crazy. All right, match number 3. All right, spawning on the left, we've got Cold Warp Gates. And his opponent to the right, Papa Batya. Both players with owls, falcons, and balloons, and lizards. No squirrels from either player. This is a bit of a gamble from both sides, just running lizards. And the reason for that is, if your opponent's running Squirrel Toad, you know, you're essentially hard countered. And we'll see some guys really high level play, like the Gentleman and Mishi and guys like that, who have good enough micro to kind of get around toads, to make the toads kind of pop on a lizard or two and not the whole pack of them. But the problem is that lizards tend to clump up, and oh, look at this. I don't have to fill the early game, you guys. Interesting. Why would Batya take that gristmill very, very early? It prompted a response from Cold Warp Gates to go for a 4-farm double rush. But I think Batya is okay, to be honest. Like, he went for a 6-farm Warren. I think he's fine. The rush distance is pretty low, but, you know, typically this kind of build will really punish your opponent if they go for something like a straight 8-farm or maybe a 7-farm Warren. But Batya didn't play that greedy. Now, granted, Batya's got lizards, which aren't as good on defense as squirrels are. Ooh, I don't know, man. That Warren's a little bit further out. Looks like he could have put maybe 1 pixel closer. He doesn't go for the Warren, though. He's going to go ahead and snipe a pig. He overextends on that second pig. It's a little bit too greedy there. And he's going to push back for now. But if he wanted to, now, is he going to sell off a Warren and go for farms? Most likely, yeah, there he goes. I was going to say, if he wanted to, he probably could have kept the pressure on and maybe gotten rid of that Warren as well. But overall, I think Batya might be ahead because he got his farms out so much sooner. And yeah, lizards did kill that farm, but he lost like 4 lizards in the process, so the money trade was pretty even. And you have to remember that Cold Warp Gate's economy was a little bit delayed to do that attack. So overall, I think Batya's in a better position coming into the early to mid game, and Batya's gonna push out and see if he can leverage that. Oh, this mine! I think he's gonna see the mine. Does he see it? Yeah, he sees it. It's unfortunate for Warp Gates. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Warp Gates, man. That would have been so dope. That mine was a very smart play, because if you're Batya here, you're definitely gonna run your lizards and try to kill this building farm, but that one mine would automatically delete a single lizard and then weaken the rest of the pack. Yeah, like you see there, and then the pigs just finish them off. Man, that mine, dude, that might be the most value mine I've ever seen. I wonder why Batya ran into it. Like, he saw it building. Maybe he thought Cold Warp Gates would sold it off, or maybe he underestimated how hard it would hit, but that was perfect, man. Pigs really capitalized on those weakened lizards and just knocked them all out for nothing. So that's exactly what Warp Gates needed to get back into this game. And overall, I think lizards in the early game especially do very, very nicely against tier 2, but Chameleon's kind of the exception to that rule. So I really like that Batya is going into Chameleons here, because Chameleons duel very nicely against lizards. They've got enough meat on their bones, they deal enough damage to knock out the lizards pretty quickly, and if your micro's on point, when your Chameleons are about to die, you can re-stealth them, get them back to your territory to heal back up. Dude, I'm still not over that mine, dude. That mine was epic. That was one of my favorite mines. Like, besides, like, a mine, you know, a couple mines taking out a fox or something like that, you know, really dramatic, like, that mine was so good. Oh, man, I'd love to see more mines here. Yeah, there he goes. But the stealth chameleons actually trigger mines, which, you know, makes them really good at being Minesweeper-esque units. So if I'm Batya, I might be moving out with my chameleons a little bit ahead of my army to kind of check around, see if mines are about. Because that splash damage, especially on lizards that tend to pack up like this, you know, can be very impactful. All right, so yeah, we're fairly even here, to be honest. It's really going to come down to this next engagement. Both players floating a little bit of food here. Oh, the commander goes down for Batya. Is Cold Warp Gate's going to capitalize? No, he just backs out for now, but now he's going to come back in. I think he wants to try to take the engagement with the chameleon AI just kind of stuck in the back, not doing a whole lot. They kind of trade pound for pound there, at least it looked like. But man, Cold Warp Gates is just going straight lizards here. And if Batya can stabilize, especially if Batya gets this expansion, actually do need to point out this expansion is going for Warp Gates, but I feel like the comp from Batya should be better. Nice capitalization there. Oh, and these mines are in an interesting spot, but I don't think the mines are strong enough to where, like, if Batya ran in here to counterattack these campfires, they would just do enough on their own. Yeah, it looks like we're in a base race now. And yeah, the chameleons are going to take the brunt of those mines. And I think Warp Gates is just going to win. Like, Warp Gates knows about that other gristmill, doesn't he? He gets his campfire going, but that campfire is not going to prevent him from losing the game if the gristmill goes down. So instead of going for the full base race, Warp Gates is coming back to try to defend. Batya really doesn't have a whole lot left. Yeah, I think that's just curtains for Batya, man. All these lizards still here for Cold Warp Gates. He knows where that last gristmill is. I don't think he realized that Batya took that one, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. Cold Warp Gates just has such an edge. Batya knows it taps out. Really cool game. Really cool mine usage. Alright, guys. Match number 4. Are levels okay? I haven't really been checking on it. Let me see. They look pretty good. If somebody can let me know, I'd appreciate it. Match number 4, guys. Alright, spawning on the left, we've got Comrade Weasel. And his opponent to the right, Spooky Dino. This must have been around Halloween. Is that Red Dino? I would guess this is Red Dino with a Halloween themed name. All right, I like the deck coming out of a Dino here. I'm a big fan of that Ferret Fox style. I think it's a lot of fun to play. And Comrade Weasel's got this really kind of man mode deck, you know, like Skunk, and I think the main focus is like the Skunk and Snake, and he's got the Ferrets there just as like a tech move, but we see a little bit of this mole shenaniganery coming out. Is Comrade aware of it? I don't think he is. Oh man, this is gonna be great for Dino. Yeah, almost gets that entire farm. And that's exactly the opening you're looking for with this. The mole rushing is not like it used to be. Like, you're not just trying to end the game, like DJ Soak style, anymore with the moles. Now you're just trying to do something like that. Like, get in there, punish your opponent for going for a greedy opening, 7-8 farm opening, and knock them down. And the correct response is something like that. Well, the safest response is if you just, like, 5-6 Warren, but then... You know, there's that trinity of, like, aggro, safe, and economic openings, right? And I kind of rant on that a lot. But if you do an aggressive opening, you beat an economic, which is kind of what we saw there. But if you do a safe opening, you'll beat aggressive, but the economic will beat you. So long story short, if you go, like, 5 farm Warren every game to try to prevent that happening, you're going to be at a disadvantage from somebody who goes 8 farm. So really, the best way to deal with something like that is keep it on top of your opponent, especially seeing if they're missing a queued farm in the early game, trying to save that money for the moles. Turrets are fantastic. I think the turret and the mole have like the same build time, so if you see a mole, you can just throw down a turret. Or a lot of times what you'll see guys do is once they see the mole starting to build, they'll throw down the Warren just to say, all right, man, you can't just keep building moles against me. I will have a squirrel out eventually. And then you just kind of sell off your farm before the mole hits. And where that can be really annoying in high-level play, like, is you can kind of, like, not overcommit with your mole, and, you know, if it's, like, a high-rank match, you're not going to expect to do, quote-unquote, real damage with that early mole, but you're forcing your opponent to sell off his farms, right? So you're kind of slowing down the economic progression of your opponent, and at the same time, your own economic progression is a little bit slowed down because you invested that 60 food into a mole rather than a farm, but a lot of times it can still be worth it if executed properly. And of course, getting that mole back home to sell it off at full HP is very important. Nah, Red Dino would never play Hopper. Dude, what, doesn't Red Dino play Hopper? Isn't Red Dino comic book? Am I wrong? P-Boop's just messing with me, man. Okay, so Dino is looking in the game right now. Again, he built those moles. They're basically banelings. You know, when you build moles like this, you're saying, all right, man, I'm moving out right here, right now. Weasels does have a nice army to deal with this, though. Like, a lot of squirrels and some skunks is kind of perfect against what Dino's bringing to the table. I think Dino recognized that and moves back. I wouldn't mind seeing him sell off his moles. Yeah, he sells off a couple of them, but keeps one just to be safe. And now Weasel, this double high ground here is pretty important. Like, whoever can grab this is going to be at a nice advantage. Dino here with a little bit of feign trying to take that gristmill, but Weasel's actually going to get this gristmill. Keep in mind, Dino has had that campfire going for about 2 minutes, so he's going to have a bit of an economic edge. But really what's important here is this middle ground. Like, if Weasel can secure this, then he's basically contained his opponent. Like, Dino's still got this base right here he can expand to, but even that is pressured. These ferrets are going to be nice to help him move back out, though. And since he's got the pigeons, he can kind of tank down this barbed wire with his tier 2 and let it heal back up with the pigeons. Yeah, getting control of this double high ground is incredibly important. And now that Dino has it, he can just start raining hell down on his opponent in the form of those ferrets. But Weasel also has ferrets of his own, so a little bit of a poke war going on here. Okay, Dino's moving in. Is he gonna hard engage? It looks like he is. And nice target fire. Both ferrets are down for Comrade Weasel. Oh, his commander's getting so low, though. Oh, his commander goes down. This gives Comrade the opportunity to clean up these ferrets, and he's not gonna miss a beat. Ferret number 1 goes down, but Hopper is back in action. Gets out of there with the second ferret. That was going well for Dino, but he got greedy, man. He needed to pull back and let his commander heal back up. When your commander falls, you can no longer micro your army while the commander is respawning, and a smart player will use that opportunity to target fire down your valuable units. So all in all, I think maybe that worked out for Weasel. Yeah, you can see, like, right there on the graphs kind of shows, like, where his commander died. You know, you can see that big steep fall in the army value of Dino. So it started working out really well for Dino. His commander dropped. That gave Weasel the edge to get back into it. But Weasel's starting to get a better economy here. You gotta keep in mind that Campfire has been going for Dino for quite some time, but Dino just now is trying to take this second base. Oh, but the Ferret might get caught out of position. The Ferret was trying to harass that second base. He's gonna get it back in time. The Pigeon's helping to heal. Both players moving in with their commanders, trying to target fire down the key units here. That Skunk Gas doing a lot of work to the tier 1 of his opponent. And it looks like Weasel might come out on top. The Falcon's still in the air, though. Just doing so much work, man. Falcons, like, if they can live through little skirmishy engagements like that, like, they just do so much damage. And now that second base advantage for Weasel is really kicking in, man. You can see, you know, he's 4 farms at 2. The counter up top's not counting. The Campfire counts it in the structures to the left. That looks like a Gristmill there. So it's 2-3. Oh man, these ferret shots are pretty big. Like, any random squirrels that go down to these ferrets are pretty huge. Nice target fire on the squirrel, or the skunk rather. He does get it down, but the skunk was able to put out a ton of gas. Weasel, though, able to target fire down one falcon, but he runs out of squirrels. He can't get that other falcon, and that falcon is just gonna do so much damage. Oh man, I love matches like this where it kind of devolves into really scrappy stuff. Like, you know, at the 7:30 mark, it's either like this or it's like both players have these huge armies because they've been turtling all game. But these are the more interesting matches to me, and I think Weasel is coming out on top. He's able to replenish his tier 1 count a little bit faster here. Dino is down to almost nothing. He's just got this Campfire left, and it's almost out of food. Trying to target fire down these individual squirrels, but there are just too many of them at this point. And I think Dino is running out of steam here, man. He's got to sell something off. Maybe the pigeons. If he can get some good damage with these ferrets, he can hold on. But the problem is, yeah, now he's starving. So he's got no more income. And it's going to be difficult for him to even really throw down a farm on that second base that he took. Like, he's got the Falcon advantage. Weasel's economy is hurting too, but he's got an economy. He's got to sell something off. Decides to sell off the pigeon, or the squirrels rather. I maybe would have sold the pigeons. Oh man, but that Gristmill's getting low. If Dino can poke that down with the ferrets, Weasel. Oh man. Looks like Weasel's aware of that, but you know, if Dino can get in here and finish off that Gristmill, then he's kind of evened out the board. But the problem is that the army count is just getting higher and higher here for Weasel. Nice micro from Weasel, just with the single ferret, avoiding taking any shots here. He needs to target fire it down, though. Yeah, that's the ticket, man. He needs to... Yeah, and Weasel is realizing it, getting more of his army in place. But if Weasel's kind of doing that, just like micro-ring around with this one ferret, what he's trying to do is get these ferrets to miss, right? To hit where that ferret is, and then you move your ferret. But, oh man, he gets a couple more shots. He did manage to get a farm up. So the economies aren't super, super different, but Weasel's just got so many squirrels. I was trying to keep the hype train alive, you guys, but it looks like numbers are starting to kick in here. Weasel's gonna go for it. He's got a lot of squirrels. One of the ferrets goes down. The other ferret's back to the corner, getting some nice shots on these squirrels. A lot of them have been knocked out. Good micro here for both sides. But does Weasel just have enough to get through it? Oh, this ferret is so low. Dino really trying to hold on to these ladder points. But it's a little too late, and the ferret goes down. Dino's got nothing left. Oh, but another ferret spawns, and Weasel pulls back. Oh my god. Dude, is Dino gonna win this game off that ring around the rosy micro? He's gonna target down the Gristmill. He gets a couple shots in. Every shot matters. It's at such low HP. Dude, is Dino gonna come back? Is that what's going on here? I like the target on the Ferret Warren. That might actually, in a really weird way, kind of benefit Dino at this point, though. So his money just kind of goes to more squirrels. I know that sounds really weird to say, but I stand by it. But the Ferret's getting backed in the corner. The Warren's down. There's no hope of another Ferret. He's on top of the production. That's got to be game. Really well fought there from Dino, but Weasel takes it in the end. That was a fun match. Okay. We are gonna hop into a 2v2 from the world's greatest mod, Premium Bow. Let's get into it. Alright, spawning to the left, our yellow and blue team, CPU 0 and 1. One of them is P-Boot, probably KSR. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm an idiot. Pancakes 28 and CPU 1. And to the right, we've got CPU 0 and Tusky. The CPU names are troll names. They're actual players just messing around. And CPU 0 is definitely Premium Bow because he always rocks that KSR. Okay. So 2v2's a little bit different. You can't really open up with an 8 farm as often because if you get like double 5 farm rush from both players, you just die. Sometimes you'll see one player go aggressive while the other one tries to macro up. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can go on here. Look at Premium Bow, man. 5 farm Snake, and he does it so ballsy, too. Like, he doesn't try to hide it back here. No, man. He puts it right on the edge of the territory, right in the main attack path. Like, look at this. Bellified already sees it. Like, are you for real, dude? You're just gonna 5 farm Snake me? And let's see if it works. Looks like blue and yellow are already rallying over. Oh, this mole! Oh, no. Oh, does red have any units? He's got a single squirrel. Yeah, that's gonna backfire. A little too ballsy there from Premium Bow. So he's got to sell the snake and go back to the drawing board. And blue and yellow are gonna rightfully so use this momentum. Like green had so much food wrapped up in that snake warren that's doing nothing now. Trying to keep the pressure on with some moles. And gonna get a warren. Do the moles get out is the question. Very nicely done so far from our blue and yellow team. One mole's gonna fall, but I think it's worth it at this point, especially if they can get another farm here. And the action continues. Red is trying to rally over what he can, but Premium Bow already taken some pretty significant damage here. But that's alright, man. Premium Bow's a miracle worker in 2v2. He can definitely come back from this. Don't count him out at all. And plus, you gotta look at Red over here, his teammate. Ooh, what is that? Mines. Lots of mines coming down, but they get scouted, so blue and yellow are aware of them. I feel like mines are the most powerful for their stealth aspect, like when you don't know that they're there, you know what I mean? Especially before the first mine gets revealed, because mines aren't, it's hard to say. Like, at least on 1.3, most units saw play. I guess you could argue maybe balloon, artillery cannon, and bore were a little bit subpar, but everything else was pretty common. But mines not so much, right? Like, you're not going to go into a match expecting mines from your opponent. But dude, this is a proper minefield here. You even get some barbed wire going, some World War I style approach here from Tusky. Blue is going to try to come in and break it, but green is there to thwart him back. Actually sells off the barbed wire. Pretty interesting. Maybe just wants some more mines at the moment. Wolf on the way for yellow player. And blue and yellow are continuing to advance. Nice mine hits here, but not quite enough to finish them off. Yeah, blue and yellow have very rapidly secured a lot of the map already with these 2-4 gristmills. And red, okay, red's got this expansion here, not bad. Green can expand over the side, but I'm not super worried about that this game because it's so aggressive. Like, once this wolf gets out for blue and yellow, like, Like, that's going to be huge, man. The woof buff on even a bunch of squirrels is monumental. These falcons, though, fantastic in situations like this, as long as they don't get target fire down. But you can see the commander's going in and trying to do just that. One of the falcons falls. Blue and yellow get pushed back for the time being. But overall, I think they're in a great spot. You know, they've both got expansions up. But red has really not taken a lot of damage. Like, he did lose a lot of money in the barbed wire and the mines. Maybe a couple falcons, but he's got a half-saturated second base on the way. P-Boop's got his own expansion over in the 3 o'clock position. I don't know, man. The tier 3 is here for Pancakes. The owl is on the way. The wolf is already on the board. Where is that wolf at? He's just buffing his farming for the moment, but it looks like he's starting to rally it over. Alright, this is the kind of the dance that you do against the ferrets, because the cannonballs just fire so slowly. You can kind of dodge some of the shots, but anytime ferrets land hits, man, it's absolutely huge. Like, if a ferret kills 3 squirrels, then it's paid for itself, you know? Alright, but green and red have quite a big army here, and they're starting to bust forward, getting some real damage done to the Warrens. Where is that wolf? The wolf's on the front lines, but he doesn't have anything to really buff at the moment. The balloon goes down. This is a lot of damage coming out of green and red here. Very impressive that they're able to claw back into this game. Now the blue and yellow team are in a little bit of a bad position. These ferrets from Premium Bow just raining down the aggression here on his opponents. Yellow's starting to get a good second base established. Blue has had this Gristmill forever, but he hasn't really put any farms on it. Just now starting to queue a couple up, but that's kind of risky, man. Like, this is definitely right in the line of fire for P-Boop. He's just going to sit here and pressure this over and over. Yeah, just killing a squirrel like that. Like, that really, really adds up over time. But here's the owl, man. Blue and yellow do have the tech advantage. They've got an owl. They've got the wolf. But can they leverage that into an advantage? We'll have to see. Ooh, a little bit of a misstep there from red. Kind of going in on his own a little bit as P-Boop is trying to get in position on the southern edge. But Premium Bow's going to be able to take down that Gristmill. Oh, just barely lives. Oh, and the ferrets are going to go down. Yellow. All right. Premium Bow finished that off with something. Maybe a stray squirrel. But now yellow and blue are starting to return the favor. Blue is in shambles, however. He's got no economy, he's got no units. It's really Pancakes versus the world at this point. Pancakes does have a pretty powerful combo here with the wolf, owl, and a bunch of tier 1, but is it going to be enough? Yeah, I think blue losing that base, losing all the infrastructure. He's going to try to macro up top, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get back into this game. Green and red are in a pretty great position now. Just the constant pressure here from Premium Bow. Wolf buff mice, you don't see it too often, but it's pretty cool. I like wolf with any tier 3, really. It's fun to see. Like, if you're gonna run two tier 3, the wolf is definitely a good one. Ooh, I don't think he got the sell-off on that, so free Gristmill there for our green player. A nice flock of falcons. Here, snipes that pig too off that stray ferret. Beautiful so far. This might simply be too much damage. Pancakes is trying to get to that second owl. The Warren is up. The owl's on the way. It'll be on the board. Maybe 30-40 seconds. But the question is, do they have that much time? Oh, this is very threatening army here from green and red, starting to move forward, starting to hit the soft underbelly of their opponents, getting all these sweet, sweet Warrens. Is this too much damage? It's starting to look like it. Poor blue, man. He started off really strong, but once green and red started to push back, he just lost everything, like, immediately. And I think green and red should be able to snowball to victory from here. Really, all that yellow and blue have left are the tier 3 units. And that's gonna be it. Yellow and blue tap out. Woof, woof, woof is the best tier 3 combo. Oh, man. Dude, Wolf Fox is so much fun. Yeah, if you guys are new, man, welcome. to Tooth and Tail TV. I am Delthius, your host. I used to do this very often, twice a week. Now I just kind of do it whenever I have the time. But if you're into the game, you're into the competitive scene, man, there's a very nice competitive scene. We try to do tournaments pretty often. I would recommend Best Sakuya NA's channel. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. I'll actually link it in the chat for you guys. He runs a Tooth and Tail League, so definitely go over there and check that out for some competitive action. Send me your replays at ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com, and I will get you on the next show. I try to put out a couple shows a month nowadays. So I'm still doing it, just not all the time. Match number 6. Let's get into it. All right, on the bottom we've got Leon uncut, and up top we've got Bonko, another Bonkage game. Yeah, we see Wolf Boar here. And keep in mind, this is the older patch. This is patch 1.3. The new patch just launched, patch 1.4. I think it launched like yesterday. But I have a big backlog of 1.3 replays, so I wanted to try to get to some of them, especially guys who had submitted in like the past week or something, just to make sure I get to those replays before the old patch just becomes totally irrelevant. You just need to stop working, then you can do the feast all the time. Hey man, I'm down for that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, so it looks like we have a quiet early game this time around. We got Squizzard versus Lizard Toad, which is always kind of cool. I like seeing Lizard Toad. I think Squizzard's easier if you're gonna run lizards, but you want to be safe against toads. Like what Lizard Toad is trying to do is counter Squirrel Toad by running my toads into your toads, if that makes sense. Because toads just annihilate lizards. So just running only lizards can be dangerous. Now, granted, new patch just came out, a lot has changed, so I don't know if that's still the rule, but on this patch, that's how it was. Excuse me. My money is on Snake Wolf. Dude, Snake Wolf would be dope. Dude, Ferret Wolf, we don't see that very often. I think Ferret Wolf is super powerful. We saw, ah man, what's his name? Like the Grandmaster Protoss Cannon Cheeser guy. He was into Tooth and Tail for a while. I don't know why I'm blanking on him. But he really popularized like a wolf fox ferret style. That was really cool. I like this secret base over here from Leon. Has Bonk seen it? No, he hasn't. Bonk's actually not been able to go over here and scout the entire map just quite yet. But Bonk did sneak this campfire, which actually isn't as risky as it looks. Looking at the map, like, if you look at the mini-map, it's going to be, hold that thought, we got a little bit of an engagement coming in. It looks like Bonk got the upper hand of that, at least on the time being. But yeah, for Leon to get to this campfire, he'd have to walk all the way through here. He could kind of take a shortcut through this water, I guess, and come up and around. Like, there's no way to get there from here, you know what I mean? So that campfire is actually really good for Bonk. I love this secret base from Leon. He's got it half saturated, a little bit more than half, but Bonk did get that campfire pretty early, and Bonk's got a second base going. But Leon with the ferrets, man, the ferrets could be pretty strong here. However, lizards are very good at getting up on slow tier 2 units like that and really punishing them. Let's see. Might fast forward just a little bit as we're getting going here. If you are a new player, learning purposes, I would say these turrets are a little bit unnecessary from Leon. Typically with turrets, you kind of want to build them like right when you have to, because otherwise it's just food that could be somewhere else. But 1 or 2 is not terrible. If he just had 1 turret there, I probably wouldn't even have said anything. But 2 is a little bit excessive. Like, I would love to see Leon maybe take this campfire and then, like, put some turrets up here. Like, those kind of turrets, I wouldn't mind staying stationary because they're doing a lot to control the map. Like, right now, these turrets are protecting these 2 bases here from Leon, but this base is totally unprotected. But really, the big secret on this map here is this plateau in the center. Like, whoever gets control of this area is going to be having a good time. Wolf Warrens on the way for both players. Where did they hide them? Did they put them in equal spots? That's the okay spot for Bonk. Down here for Leon. Wolf Warren's a little bit faster for Bonk, but it shouldn't matter. They're only like 5 or 10 seconds apart. Shouldn't be a big deal. Bonk finally found this base, and I love it. He's just moving out with these Falcons, so he doesn't move his entire army out of position. I would argue probably better to use Lizards for this purpose, but the Falcons are doing just fine at it as well, as long as he doesn't lose either of these Falcons. Very nicely done. He gets 3 pigs, and he gets out of there with his Falcons. And Leon's moving forward. Needs to be careful. Oh, man, he could have caught those Falcons, but it's all right. That would have been very, very clutch for him to do that. Now Bonk wins, says Premium Bow. Yeah, Bonk's looking like he's in a good spot, man. The Wolf's almost here. He's at a second base, almost fully saturated. He's had that campfire forever. He did some nice free damage to his opponent. It's definitely Bonk's game to lose at this point. Leon's got to get something together. I don't think he even really needs to kill the mill, to be honest. All right, here we go. The Wolf's here. Is Bonk going to wait on the board, or is he just going to move out? Man, that poison. Dude, poison on commanders is so brutal. This Wolf down here, charging up them pigs, making them work faster. So the Wolf will buff the movement speed and attack speed of your units, but it also buffs the production rate of your Warrens and your pigs. So you keep that in mind. Sometimes you'll see players, like, if you have a Wolf on the field and you're not using it yet for a fight, you might just keep it around your gristmill. To get that production going faster. But Bonk again. Oh, and he even had these charged up from the Wolf buff. So they got over here a little bit faster. Leon is not responding. Bonk. Bonk's gonna do it. Bonk. Yeah, nicely done. The gristmill goes down. Leon has got to all in, but Bonk's out of position. The Wolf falls immediately. The Falcons are not in this fight. This is Leon's chance to get back into this game. Oh man, sniping that Wolf immediately was huge, but Leon's Wolf is gonna go down to the poison. And Bonk's Falcons actually are kind of doing good there to flank, and now Bonk is in a fantastic spot, man. Whew! I thought Leon might have won it there, but he didn't quite control the Wolf right. You really gotta make sure to select that Wolf and keep it back behind your units, because it'll tend to want to move up front. And then it just gets, poisoned down, targeted down. You'll see in high-level play, like, you'll move the Wolf up front to kind of tank a little bit, but then you retreat back before it dies. Nice catch from Leon. He's going to prevent the space from going down, but he's going to commit to killing the gristmill, take a lot of damage on his squad of lizards, and the boar is here, and the boar just loves roasting lizards. And now Bonk is in a dominating spot. I'd love to see Bonk just push in and finish this game, man. Bonk even takes his base over to the side just for style points. Alright, man. Leon's got to think of something. He's in a rough spot. He sold off his Wolf Warren, which was probably smart, thinking he couldn't re-afford it. But Bonk's not going to give him time to recover. He's moving in. He's got a very healthy army. Just snipes the campfire and moves back for now. But I think Bonk could do it, man. I think he could just crash into Leon and end it right here. Alright, now Bonk's just styling on him, man. He's getting another Wolf out. Macroing up some more. Alright, Bonk pressing forward. This is a little bit of a hard cookie to crack here, I'm not gonna lie. Ferret's on the high ground, he's got the turret, but I think Bonk could still just kind of crash into him and come out on top. But Bonk's playing it smart, man. There's no reason to turn a good thing into a bad thing. You see guys do that in Tooth and Tail so often. And plus, Bonk's in the driver's seat now. Leon has to do something. Bonk doesn't have to do anything. Like, Bonk can just hang out and Leon's gonna starve. You know what I mean? Like, Bonk controls the entire map. The clock's ticking for Leon. He's trying to get another Wolf. Let's see if Bonk gives him the time. Yeah, Leon's gonna scout around, kind of see the terrible predicament he's in. Got a lot of money here. He can't quite get in there that way. Oh, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna knock out this base, but Bonk doesn't even really care about that. If Bonk wanted to, he could catch Leon's army over here. We basically checkmate him. Because now that army's pushed into a corner, Bonk, this is your chance, man. Get him, Bonk. No, Bonk is just gonna go for the counterattack. I disagree with this. I mean, it'll still work, because Bonk should be able to win this base race. But Bonk had the superior army there. If I was him, I would have just pincered in. And said, all right, you're stuck in a corner, dude. Now you're gonna have to fight my boar and my wolf. Now he's given Leon an opportunity to win, and Leon's got all these lizards. Yeah, but Bonk should be able to take that gristmill out. Oh, but he's got the building gristmill. I don't think that should matter, yeah, without anything left, and Bonk still wins. Nicely done. Alrighty. Let's keep it rolling, you guys. Match number 7. Oh, Lord. Oh, that's the same guy, isn't it? Spawning in the bottom left, we've got Frost Shafto. I think last time it was a different Shafto, like B Shafto or something. Anyways, in the top right, we've got Excellent. Rocking that Fox. Alright. I like Shafto's deck. I think that's pretty... I think both these players have some pretty good stuff here. Squizzard is a lot of fun. I think Squizzard was a little bit underutilized in the last patch because Tier 2 rushes were very popular. I feel like Lizards do great against Tier 2. However, since Toads did so much single target damage, you know, you could kind of just, like, you could just Squirrel Toad, you know what I mean? Like, not even as a response to Lizards, because Toads were just strong. So that kind of dissuaded the Squizzard more than it probably should have. But now that we see in the new patch, the Toads losing that very high single target damage, maybe players aren't going to just auto-include Toads as a strong pick in any composition, and we might see more Squizzard compositions come out because of that. But overall, Squizzard just versus pure Squirrel, I feel like the Squizzard combo should have a little bit of an edge there. Actually, a 5 or 6 farm double here from Shafto, so an aggressive opening. Excellent, scouted it out. Decides to respond with some turrets. I think he's okay with that. But Excellent's got such an excellent spawn here as far as defense goes. Now, it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, he's got this double high ground. He's got this moat outside of his base. He's got one entrance. Like, yeah, there's a ramp here, but there's no way to get in over there. And he's got a really nice natural expansion, but he doesn't have anywhere to build warrens. You know, he can only place down like 4 or 5 warrens, so he's got to expand very quickly. Shafto moving around on the map, trying to see if maybe Excellent had taken a sneaky campfire in a corner or anything like that. Shafto did grab this campfire here, but overall, Excellent's in a much better spot this game because Shafto went for a very aggressive opening. He's just now getting his 7th farm. You know, getting up to 8 farms is very, very critical in Tooth and Tail. If you're a new player, I know we should have some new players watching. Oh, he's gonna catch the snake. Oh, excellent, bro. Nicely done there for Shafto. And he's gonna see if he can capitalize on that, but coming into the double high ground with the turrets, with the defense, yeah, it's not a good idea. Loses a couple lizards there. Can't blame him for trying. But I'm not saying don't do aggressive openings. You totally should. And like 5 farm double is a great example of that, even a 4 farm double. And I mean like double tier 1 warren, so 5 farm, 2 tier 1. But if you're not, you should be going for 8 farm, or at the very least like a 6 farm warren into 8 farms as quickly as you can, because when you're in positions like Shafto is, like, yeah, he is getting stuff done, but it's partially because Excellent has kind of been too liberal with his snake movement out on the map. Like, he lost 2 snakes where he really didn't have to. And just now this 8th farm is going down for Shafto. So I love Shafto's opening, but you can see from the graph, like, the income advantage for Excellent is pretty real. However, I think the damage that Shafto got done kind of evens that out. He's got a very nice Squizzard composition. And he's been pretty on top of, like, scouting the map, and I think he should, if he goes and checks again on this base over here, this is a big gambit on Excellent, taking that over there. You know, especially because he's got this pretty easy natural right in front of his base. But man, like, Shafto's been so diligent on, like, constantly scouting the map, and right when he stops is when that sneaky expo comes up. Yeah, but the moral of the story, guys, is you want to get 8 farms very quickly. And if you're not getting your full 8 farms very quickly, you need to have a very specific reason. You need to get some damage done. Alright, Shafto moving in. I love the pressure that Shafto keeps putting on his opponent, but excellent, man. With a full base over here. Like, full saturated, sneaky base. And Shafto, he's got the mobile army. He's got the map control. He just hasn't made the rounds again to check those gristmills again. And it's hard to do. You know, I'm not blaming Shafto for it at all. Like, it's hard to find time to re-scout the map or even just remember, like, oh, hey, they might have taken a sneaky base. But Excellent's in a bad position now because he's out of room to build warrens. Like, he has to get that gristmill to expand his territory out to be able to throw down more warrens. Try to do some sneaky stuff with the chameleons here, but Shafto's in position. Oh, and Shafto... Oh, he's gonna come back once he sees the chameleons. Should maybe be able to get a warren. Nah, he's gonna have to re-stealth. Nicely done not losing those chameleons, kind of delaying the game. I like this delay the game strategy from Excellent because he's got his tier 3 on the way. However, Fox is not good against lizards. The lizards can match the fox's speed, which the speed of the fox is really the big thing here. So he's got to start placing some warrens over in this area. Oh, now Shafto's gonna see it. Oh, but does he see the other one? Oh my god, what if he didn't see the other one? Okay, he sees the other one. So all this is just completely dead here for Excellent. Excellent cannot contest this at all. He really just doesn't have any army. With this amount of lizards too, he could have just went straight for the gristmill. If you have smaller lizard numbers, like 6 to 9 or something like that, you do have to kind of clear those pigs. But when you get up to like 15 lizards, man, just go straight to that for that gristmill. Right, the fox is here for Excellent. Shafto's gonna dive in on the fox. How is the fox still alive? The fox lives. These turrets are doing a lot of work. And Excellent is gonna hold. Man, how did Shafto not get that fox? I thought his commander was right on top of it. Maybe a little bit of a misclick there from Shafto. But the gristmill is gonna still go down. So I think Shafto did the damage that he needed to do. Like, the fox is still here, but it might not be enough. Excellent is now starving, but these are the situations where the fox really shines, is scrappy, you know, just a few units left on the map. But these lizards are gonna repopulate very, very quickly. It'd be a big pain in the ass for this fox. Gonna deny this expansion again. Excellent is now starving. He doesn't have a bank anymore. Get some farms going, so out of the starvation for the time being. But if Shafto can break this again and deny this gristmill a second time, that might be curtains here for Excellent. Yeah, this fox getting so much work done. Man, it really looked like when Shafto, like, crashed in on that first time with so many lizards. Like, how did the fox live? I might have to go rewatch this later. I am genuinely curious, like, because Excellent didn't pull the fox back. Like, the fox was just, like, standing here. Snake's gonna go down. Yeah, you gotta be careful if you're gonna do micro like this with your fox. You want to leave the rest of your units at your base and only control your fox so they don't get scrapped down. Oh no! The fox is holding its own, but it's taking too much damage. Shafto can easily just turn on this fox now. But no, he's just ignoring it completely, man. He's going for the kill. The fox should just die to these reinforcing units. No, he's target firing with them, so... The fox at 1 HP. Is the fox gonna live? I don't think Excellent's gonna live, but this fox might. Oh! Oh! How is this fox still alive? Dude. This is the most badass fox. Oh! 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 2 HP! Oh! Still alive! Dude. Oh! Oh! Finally goes down! With that, any hope that Excellent still has in this game. He should be tapping out here shortly. There he goes. Shafto takes the match. Okay. Very, very brief break, guys. Like a minute. I will be back in just a second. Alright, I am back. Whoop, whoop, there we go. How's it going, guys? Good to see everybody. We have another 2v2 on our hands. Yeah, I'm still accepting replays, guys, so shoot your games over to ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com. Whether you're a new player and you want my analysis on where you can improve, or if you just had a fun game to show off. I try to do a little bit of everything here, man. New players, fun matches that, you know, aren't super serious, and then like high-level competitive play. So everybody's welcome, man. Shoot your games over to me. Delthius on Discord or ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com. And again, man, the more replays I get, the more I'm encouraged to do shows more often. So definitely send them my way, man. Don't be shy. I try not to pick on people too hard. I try to balance not picking on people, but also like pointing things out for people to learn. Anyways, match number 8. 2v2 tournament. Do we need another 2v2 tournament? I totally agree. In the bottom, we've got Zoom and Lord Vega. And up top, we've got Dinos and Vonius. Vonius? Dinos. ET Dinos. Now, I don't think that's Red Dinos, right? This is ET Dinos. And he's blue, too. So how can he be Red Dinosaur if he's not red? Answer that, scientist. Alright, so... Macro 2v2? Is that what we're seeing here? There's no Warrens yet. Is everybody going for 8 farms? How often does this happen, Premium Bow? I don't think this is a thing that happens very often. Yeah, a team tournament would be cool, man. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think one of my favorite formats that we did, I think it was a Josh tournament, where it was teams of 2 with a pro player and a newbie. And like the pro players would do 1v1s, the newbies would do 1v1s, and then there would be a 2v2. So you had 1v1s, you had 2v2s, then you kind of had like the Padawan and the coach, you know. So I thought that was a blast. That was a lot of fun. We've had some really cool tournament formats in Tooth and Tail. It's not necessarily just like, oh, 1v1 best of 3s and then a best of 5 later. Normally people come up with some pretty creative stuff. Ongoing, I believe the gentleman is doing a 3rd season of the 21 Duels Challenge. I don't think he's looking for duelists, but he is looking for participants. Basically where there's 21 players that you try to battle through and you have so many lives. So Season 3 should be coming soon. Jed Erickson is organizing a custom map tournament that will be here in a couple weeks. And Best Sakia NA's Tooth and Tail League is ongoing, but you can't join the league. The league is underway at the moment, but you can check that out. Definitely high-level games there, and then, you know, maybe join up next season. Oh, okay, so a little bit of action here. Green trying to get this artillery cannon set up in a fantastic spot. Red and yellow are cognitive of that and try to deny it. Indeed they do. Nice sell-off from Delthius there. Gets at least most of his money back for that artillery cannon. Ooh, that toad got in there and detonated. Very nice. The red and yellow are keeping the pressure up. The lore tournament was fun, even if it was rigged. Man, it was not rigged, okay? Common Folk won. Gavin, he was just salty and tried to say KSR won. Hey, what's up, Tech? How's it going, man? I thought 21 Duels was finished. Is it finished? Oh man, I'm so sorry if I misspoke there. The last I heard, the gentleman was talking about another run of that, but if you guys heard that he said that's it, then you're probably correct. The last I knew of, at least a couple weeks ago, he was planning on another one, but I'm not sure what you mean by if it's finished. Like Season 2 is finished. But all right, red and yellow are crashing through. They've gotten some pretty good damage done, but they might be overextending. No, I think there will be more, says Greenbow. Okay, yeah, you guys confused me. Yeah, the 21 Duels Season 2 finished, and you can actually, I did the last episode of that. Once I finish this VOD, if you're hungry for some more Delthius and Tooth and Tail content, check out the most recent video I've done. That was the finals of 21 Duels Season 2. But what I meant by that was I believe a Season 3 should be in the works. Man, I know what I'm talking about. You guys are just confusing me. yeah, no. Season 2 is done. The only ongoing tournament at the moment is Tooth and Tail League. And that's on Best Sakia NA's channel. Nice snipe off over here on this gristmill by these lizards. So, red and yellow have done a great job getting out on the map, trying to deny this high ground here from blue and green, but they overextended a little bit, which allowed blue to try to retain this high ground. However, red and yellow are smashing through again, but this counterattack from green in the bottom, I think he's got enough lizards to just focus fire down the gristmill. He's gonna go for some pigs instead, though. Yeah, man, you got it. You got it. Oh, but they're coming back. Are they coming back? Ah, no, and the moles are coming too. Green, is he just gonna knock out Lord Viga? He does. Oh my god, Delthius, dude, signed my mouse pad. That was amazing. Just barely had enough, but that was so hype because that was the only structure that yellow had, which knocked him out of the game, completely stopped that frontal attack that yellow and red had, and Delthius wins it for his team. Very nicely done. Okay. We got 2 more replays, guys. And then I'm going to call it a night and hang out with my wife, Aroni. But yeah, send me matches. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I know we got guys coming in and out. Email matches of your game to ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com, and I will cast them. The more replays I get, the more I'm inspired to put out content more often. So, match number 9. Let's do it. Hey, Pancakes, we had you in a match earlier, my dude. All right, in the top left, we've got Atom of Awesomeness. And to the right, we've got Parsival. Okay, Parsival is a young tryhard up-and-comer that kind of made a name for himself a couple months ago. You know, he hung out. Like, he took a couple matches off some high-level players. He's a pretty solid player, so this should be a pretty good game. Hey, what's up, Stitches? Pancakes, I think you were in the What game was Pancakes in? Oh god, my short-term memory is terrible. Was it the 2v2 with Premium Bow? Was that the match? I think that was the match. Okay, so the map looks better for Parsival here. He's got a double high ground, which is always nice. He's got one entrance to his base. He's got a natural expansion that's pretty great, and he's got a pocket third. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. No, let me rephrase. This map is amazing for Parsival and terrible for Adam. Like, Adam does have a pocket. Is that a pocket? Kinda. It's pocket enough. Like, you can wiggle around this nonsense, I guess. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Looking at the mini-map a little closer. So yeah, he's got a pocket natural, which is kind of all you need. And I would love to see Adam be aggressive in this early game, maybe secure this campfire, go off a one base style, and try to secure this high ground. You know, if he could put a balloon or two right there, he could really put some pressure on Parsival. He could take this third base and all of a sudden flip this map on its head. So it's kind of, that's one thing I love about the random maps in Tooth and Tail is, like, you look at it at first glance and it's like, yeah, this is obviously Parsival favored, but if Adam has a good mid game, he can totally turn this around. Yeah, he grabs that campfire. Very nice. He's got the skunk on the way. Pretty similar builds from both players. At this point, it might come down to the engagement. Toads versus pigeons. Like, the pigeons are going to be easier if we do see, like, the two tier 1 and the tier 2 in the big fight. The pigeons are kind of easier to play with, but the toads, if they get that big connection on the skunks, keep in mind this is patch 1.3, so the toads do a lot of single target damage. They can get in there and deal with tier 2 very, very nicely. But it looks like Parsival is not going to opt for any kind of crazy one base all-in style. I still expect him to kind of poke in, you know what I mean? Like, just because he took this gristmill and he put a couple farms on it doesn't mean he can't be aggressive. Adam spent a little bit of time getting the entire lay of the land, very important to do in the early game. Has a little bit more map info than Parsival does, but luckily for Parsival, that entire area that's just like black, there's nothing there. But he doesn't know that, so he just checks in to see if that pocket natural was taken yet. It was not. So Parsival's got to be feeling pretty good. Like, he knows about the campfire, right? Yeah, he knows about the campfire, but he's up a couple farms regardless. I love this positioning up here on this high ground. Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Adam needs to do. Overall, I really like the way both of the players are playing thus far. And here's the big first engagement. It's really going to matter. Nice target firing from Parsival. Gets the skunk. Needs to be careful on the commander HP. Both skunks going down actually for both players, and the Falcons are going to come through and really shine with a couple pigeons to reinforce these small numbers, and Adam is going to push Parsival back for the time being. Keep in mind, Parsival did invest more in economy than Adam did, and you can kind of see that little bit of a difference showing up in the results of that first engagement, but the snake comes down. Nice target fire from Parsival, knocking that Falcon out of the sky. And Parsival's going to push it back, and man, Adam really would have liked to get that second pig, but the pig barely lives. Nice for Parsival here, but Adam's going to keep the pressure on. With the snake, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to harass, but nice target fire. The snake goes down immediately, but the snake gets the poison stacks and the Falcon. The Falcon goes down as well, and Parsival pushes Adam back again. But Adam doesn't necessarily have to end the game here. He just needs to control this gristmill area, but it looks like Parsival is going to push him back off that gristmill. The skunk going down as well. Now Parsival is starting to win this tier 2 war. He needs to kind of babysit this skunk up front with 2 HP, but no, it goes down to Adam. However, kind of doesn't matter at this point. There's so many squirrels here from Snake and Snake as well. And Parsival did the job. Like, he pushed back that area on the high ground with that gristmill. And now this is kind of a serious threat for Adam. Like, he's got to get his act together, man. Woo. That was rough. I think Adam overextended. Like, I think his first push in was fine, where he got the first pick, but when he tried to come in again, that might have been a little bit too risky, and Parsival really capitalized. The snakes do phenomenal in situations like this. One snake goes down, but the target fire is so real. The snakes do so well because you can just quickly kind of like mass tag every unit, like have the snake shoot like every unit as quick as it can from the opponent by, you know, focus firing each one for just a split second. Because that snake damage, one stack of poison will actually kill any tier 1 unit, and you only need like 2 stacks for a tier 2. So nice control from Parsival. Adam's not out of this game yet, but it's looking pretty bleak for him because he doesn't have an economy. Like, he does have the campfire, so he's only 1 farm behind, but I feel like Parsival, especially these last like 3 or 4 engagements, has been getting the better end of it. Look at that army graph, dude. That's my favorite type of army graph to look at. All right, here we go. Parsival moving in for the kill. Is this an overextension, or does he have enough? One of the snakes falls, the skunk falls as well, but it kills the skunk from Adam. And since Parsival has a better economy, like, that kind of thing's okay. Like, Parsival's fine with trading tier 2 for tier 2 because he's got the better income. And Adam kind of needs to sell off the Falcons, I think, at this point. Like, he's got too much stuff in the red. You know, when it gets scrappy like this, you gotta downgrade a little bit. You gotta sell off a couple warrants. I'm not keeping up with the chat too much, but I see you guys talking about units. I do want to remind everybody this is patch 1.3. Patch 1.4 just dropped the other day. That's kind of what prompted the show, because I didn't want my backlog of 1.3 replays all to go to waste. Only most of them are going to go to waste now. Oh, Adam coming in for the scout, but it's not a happy scout for him. He even gets snaked to death here. And he's just got to know, unfortunately, that the end is near. He sees that nice, healthy economy from Parsival. He sees that Parsival's got plenty of units. Let's see if Adam can make something happen. Like, he's got this gristmill up. He can throw down a farm. But really, for Adam to get back into this game, Parsival would just have to, like, AFK for 3 minutes. Parsival would have to be like, man, I'm going to go get a drink and make a sandwich. Then maybe Adam would have a shot. Like, Parsival's economy is just through the roof compared to Adam. I think Parsival did a very strong thing there, too, which is kind of like, you know, it can be really difficult to saturate up your second base because you're like, oh, I don't want to take too many farms and have too weak of an army. But I love to, like, just kind of take one farm at a time. You know what I mean? Like, maybe get a second base and, like, 2 or 3 farms and skirmish with your opponent. And then, okay, you know, in between rounds, just throw down 1 farm. You know what I mean? And then fight again, go back, throw down another farm, rinse and repeat. I haven't played a new patch yet. Exams make me sad, says Prigmevo. Yeah, man. I'm in the same boat, dude. I've been so busy. I wanted to actually do a ladder stream before I did the feast tonight. I just didn't have time. My drum lessons went a little bit too long. But alright, guys. New moles are really strong, says Woody Pun. Yeah, they look pretty tough. Last game of the night, I saved a good one. Srownal and Iris are both pretty high-level players, so if you're a newbie, definitely get out your notebook for this one. And let's end the night strong on match number 10. Okay, spawning on the right, we've got Srownal. And his opponent to the left, Iris. Alright, snow map. Okay, check that off. Very nice. Gotta love the snow maps. Overall, this map looks better for Srownal. Like, this is not looking good for Iris. But Iris isn't down and out completely. The thing I don't like about this is Iris' second base is a little bit wonky here, like with this high ground outside of it. So for Iris to be safe, he's really going to have to secure this area completely. But I don't think Iris would have a problem doing that. Both players running Badger, Skunk, Squirrel, Pigeon here. Changing up a little bit on the Mole and the Turret and the Falcon and the Snake, but pretty similar deck compositions overall. I kind of favor Iris' deck here because the Snakes do very nicely against Badgers. The Falcon would probably be better against Owls. The Mole is always nice for Srownal. He didn't do any kind of Mole rushing in the early game, but the Moles can still be utilized later on. You know, Iris definitely, this map looks nicer for Srownal, but Iris can split this very well also. You know, if Iris can get some good map presence, imagine if Iris took this Gristmill, for example. Like, he's got this nice double high ground here, he's got turrets in his deck, he can set up contain on Srownal. It's just a natural progression. Looks a little bit better for Srownal. Like, if Srownal's able to control this, then naturally you should be able to control that, and then naturally, you know, from there, those other 2 bases are also secure. So Iris is probably aware of that. And both players going for an 8 farm, 2 tier 1 into tier 2 opening. That's as standard as it gets. Snake for skunk. It's not really a rock, paper, scissors situation there. It's going to come down to control. You know, if the snakes can get in and tag the skunks, then it's going to go very nicely for Iris, as the skunks would get deleted. However, if the skunks can get really good poison clouds on Iris's squirrels, then the snakes would be exposed and could be taken down. But Iris is getting his own skunks. Actually, both players going for a double tier 2 opening. And now I would kind of favor Iris. I feel like snakes kind of beat out on falcons a little bit. Fox got a nerf, says Premium Boy. Yeah, I know. Don't remind me. Okay. What did the 20 damage nerf affect? Does that mean that Fox no longer one-shots pigs, right? Is that the only thing that changed? It should still one-shot a falcon, I believe? It's not going to one-shot a pig anymore, unless I'm wrong. How much HP does a pig have? Yeah, I'm sure glad to. Hey, I read it. It was just a little bit late, okay? I'm trying to talk about a game and make an entertaining show. Still one-shots pigs. Oh, it's at exactly 20 HP. I knew it was somewhere around there. I wasn't sure if it was like 21 or 22 or something. So then it really... So the Fox nerf changes nothing? Besides not leaving your opponent's Fox at 1 HP? Well, I guess, like, you know, giving the tier 2 that it hits a little bit more HP left over could matter. I think it's going to take a couple more shots from squirrels to finish them off and stuff. Anyways, Iris, going for that tier 3, puts it in a really cool spot. It's going to be hard for Stroundle to scout it. Did Stroundle scout it? He has not scouted it yet. Meanwhile, Stroundle going for more of an economic approach, getting more tier 2, getting that expansion up and running. Overall, I like the spot for Iris, man. He's going to have a huge power spike to his army once the Badger hits the board. And Stroundle, if he can hold on against that first Badger wave and live, then he'll be in a better spot because he has a better economy. However, you know, he doesn't have any defensive structures to really leverage superior defense. You know, it's going to be hard. Now, the Falcons, you don't want to underestimate Falcons against tier 3 units. They can put out some mean DPS pretty quickly. Oh, yeah, the new mines. Oh, dude. The new mines are a cool change. Like, I'm the most hyped about the squirrel change, to be honest, and for some weird reason. Like, the 0 cast time seems really cool to me. Now Stroundle sees that tier 3 Warren. But it's a little bit too late, as the Badger's going to hit the board here shortly. The cabin and the water healing seem very extreme. I don't have an opinion about it just yet because I haven't laddered yet. But it's a very extreme change. And the mine change, I think, is really innovative. Like the attack speed nerf, like that's pretty cool, man. Like maybe you want 1 or 2 mines that just kind of AoE on your opponent's army and, you know, kind of anti-woof them. I like, okay, so the part of cabins that I'm fine with, oh, hang on, here we go. Here's the big attack I was talking about. Iris needs to get in here and get this damage done. If Stroundle can hold off without taking economic damage, he's going to be in a great position, and the Badger goes down. That's what I was talking about, man. The Falcons can do so much damage. Very impressive from Stroundle, and now Stroundle's in a great spot. Like, yeah, Iris has that economy up and running too, but Stroundle got his a lot quicker. Damn, those Falcons just deleted that Badger, man. That'll happen. Once you get up like 3 or 4 Falcons, like they do so much DPS. Okay, no. Hang on. I agree, Squirrels definitely didn't need a buff, but I like the 0 casting time. And the reason I like the 0 casting time is I feel like it makes them a more microable unit. And when things are more microable, it's always better for skill ceilings. If that makes sense. But again, I haven't laddered yet, so my opinion is completely uninformed. Just outside of my game sense. Alright, Iris, man, he's starving. That counterattack from Stroundle was huge. I'm very impressed with Stroundle here, man. Like, he handled that tier 3 so well. Like, I was expecting Iris to just go in there and mop the floor with him. He didn't even lose a pig, man. New moles OP. The thing I don't like about the cabins is the fact that they attack Like, imagine you're on your way to your opponent with like 3 to 6 squirrels or something, and they get kind of softened up by a cabin. But here we go, Iris moving out again. He's got another badger. Stroudle's trying to deny this expansion from Iris, and it looks like it will be denied, but the question is, can Iris clean this army up? And this time around, it's looking better, and Iris just barely gets through. A very weak skunk and badger saved the day. However, Stroudle's economy is through the roof at this point. Iris is still in bad shape. I don't know if that trade is going to be enough for him. You know, he's still lost most of his stuff there. He's really just hoping he can win the game off the back of like a single tier 2 and tier 3 unit. He doesn't even have pigeons. He's got one pigeon on its way. The pigeon's coming. Gotta heal up that badger. All right. Let's see if Iris can finish off Stroudle. Stroudle's army comp is not what he needs to deal with the badger this time around. He doesn't have that critical mass of falcons. He does have 3 in the air, maybe if he gets the right angle, but he's timid and he's already taken the damage here. Iris can certainly win this. Mole coming down as well. Iris might be taking this game. Maybe that was the right call from Stroudle. I guess he felt like he just didn't quite have the critical mass to deal with the badger, but now he's got to go for it. Skunk goes down, but it gets a lot of good gas clouds up and running. Badger stays alive, but Stroudle has the superior army here. Badger getting a little bit of healing here, but only with single pigeon on the field. Oh, Iris is trying to walk around. A big mistake, I feel like, as these falcons should be able to catch up to it. The badger is quite slow. Ooh, let's see. Iris has some fantastic micro, but is it going to be enough? It is not. Iris is going to lose the badger. He's going to check on Stroudle and see how bad Stroudle's doing before he decides to tap out. And yeah, that should be it. Iris is going to tap out. Oh, there he goes. And Stroudle takes the game. Nicely done. Very impressive. Does anyone here know how to place starting farms? Like, what do you mean by that? Like, against moles? I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but... Oh, no, in the editor. Oh. Well, I'm already here. The thing with starting farms is you want to place them like that. You don't want to do things like this or like that. You want to keep them close, because imagine if you placed your farm here and like some moles came in and went to harass this farm. I know you probably already know that, Pancakes, but I'm sure we got some new viewers in the cell, so try to clump your starting farms up. But alright guys, I'm not enough. I know. Listen, man. I apologize. I figured it out, but by the time I figured out what you were asking, it was too late. And I was like, you know what? There probably are some noobs watching, so I might as well give that tip. Dell is such a noob. I know, I'm the worst, man. Alright, guys, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I always appreciate it, man. Send me some new patch replays to ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com. And the more replays I get, the more often I'll do shows, so don't be shy. Send them in. And that is it for tonight, my dudes. Oh, we've got somebody else streaming some Tooth and Tail. So let's give her a raid. Oh wait, her show's gonna be a thing again? Yeah, I try to do a show every now and then. But again, the more replays I get, the more often I'll do shows. So bye everybody, I appreciate it. Let's go say hi to Echo the Space Hippie, and I'll see y'all next time. Say woof.